Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my loves. If this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Stef, and I am the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. What that basically means is that I help spiritual people and spiritual entrepreneurs to do very deep levels of healing work, also known as inner work or shadow work, in order to really align with more of who they truly are on this soul level, on this higher self level, on this just deeply spiritual level. And as a result of people aligning with more of who they truly are, they're then able to create more abundance, more fulfillment, more ease, more joy in their lives with so much more grace. So that's how I help people. Now, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming to my channel and checking this video out. I'm so grateful for you and your support. And I'm just excited to be talking to everyone today because I have so much I want to share today, I want to say, and I have a special announcement as well. So definitely bear with me and stay with me till the very end. And if you're short on time and you need to watch this video or receive the information from this video much more quickly, then you can always adjust the speed settings of this video by going to the bottom of this video, clicking on the little gear, or whatever it is to change the video speed. So it's there for you in case you need to do that. Personally, I watch a lot of videos on twice the speed. So anyway, what I wanted to start off with today is, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I periodically share my journey and what I'm going through, my struggles, my challenges, or other situations in life, and how I'm handling that. And you get to see the side of me sometimes through my YouTube videos, sometimes through a Facebook Live if you're in my community, sometimes on my Instagram story or my Instagram post, or sometimes on my email list. Like, I don't have any specific places where I choose to share or not share. I share whatever I want to share, that's going on with my life, in whatever space I feel called to do so. So if you haven't yet started following me in my Facebook community or on Instagram or my email list or YouTube, then, the links to my social media will be pinned in the comments of this video, will be pinned to the top. And you can go and look through that and see where you want to follow me. If you want to sign up for my email list, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already, and hit that bell notification and change your settings to all so that you know when I upload a video, because I don't do videos, on a consistent schedule. I just show up whenever I feel like it, and that is how it is. And I'm going to speak to that today. I share a lot about my life and what I'm going through a lot of times because I think it's important, especially for two reasons. And the first reason is that I think it's really important for people to see that even very knowledgeable, successful, wise people that they look up to still have their struggles, because we're all human at the end of the day, and no one is perfect. And even though, I'm on the spiritual journey and I teach on spirituality, I'm also still human, and I have to deal with my ego sometimes, or my traumas, my wounds, and, sometimes it impacts me in certain ways. And so I think it's important for people to see that side of me, at least as a leader, to not put me on a pedestal, and to recognize, like, we all have our challenges, right? But the other reason as well that I feel it's important to share these things is because I often, share from a place of wanting others to learn from whatever it is that I'm going through in some kind of way. And so that's the space from which I choose to share from. And I think that it's so valuable to people to see, like, oh, Stephanie's going through this, and that's how she's handling it. So now moving forward, when I have something similar in my life, then maybe I can apply some of that in my own life, right? Based on what she shared with me, right? And so, those are the two main reasons that I like to share. Now, I have a few videos here on my channel where I do go more in depth. I mean, you're free to look through my videos if you want to try to find them. I do share bits and pieces of my journey in a lot of my videos, but there are some specific ones where I'm like, hey, this is an update, what I'm going through in my life, what's going on. But anyway, so I want to talk today about my entrepreneurial journey. And it's been a crazy, wild ride, let me tell you. So real quick, I started my online health coaching business in 2016. And I struggled for about 9 months to try to make that business profitable. And 9 months in, I finally, after applying all the stuff that I learned from people online, because that's a lot of times what we do when we're first starting out, is like, hey, let me learn for free because I maybe don't have the budget, or I'm not sure in what to invest in yet, so let me learn for free and apply all these things that I am learning from other people that they're sharing out there, right? I mean, that's the beauty of the internet. And so I did that, but 9 months in, I wasn't really getting anywhere at all, and I decided, you know what, like, I need to invest. And that wasn't my intention, but 9 months in, I really understood, like, nothing I'm doing is working. And at the time, I felt like there was something wrong with me. I felt like such a failure. I felt so many horrible things because, like, it was just such a huge blow to my ego. It was such a huge blow to my ego because my ego has always prided itself on being super highly intelligent. Like back in school, back in the day, I did really well. And I've prided myself on picking up things really quickly. And when I struggle, especially in the past, in those days, when I struggled to figure it out, I took it so harshly on myself, I felt like such a dummy, like such a failure. I felt like I was letting people down. It was just horrible. And, 9 months into my health coaching business, I realized, like, I can't figure this out. I'm trying to figure it out. Nothing I'm doing is working. And around that time, I magically received an email from some lady whose email list I apparently signed up to. And she was talking about a webinar to talk about business or whatever, how to succeed in business. And I attended this, and she did a phenomenal job of selling herself and her business. And I was like, this is what I need. Like, I need someone to help me figure this crap out because I'm not doing it. And this lady apparently, has figured it out and had similar struggles. So I'm going to sign up. And at the time, this lady offered a payment plan that was a stretch for me, because I hadn't been making any money for 9 months and I was living off my savings, and my savings were almost gone. But I decided, like, I'm going to take that risk, like, I'm taking this as a sign. If I can afford the first couple of months, that's what I'm going to do. And I'll figure it out. And I took a leap of faith, and I signed up for this woman's program. It was a group program. And, this woman, she delivered on what she said she was going to deliver, which is teaching me stuff on, like, branding and marketing, how to do some kind of high-end package and funnels and all this stuff. And I did all of that to the best of my ability. I applied it to the best of my ability. I got professional photos taken, made my website look nice and all this other stuff. And it got me nowhere. It got me nowhere financially. And I couldn't understand why. I was thinking to myself, like, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm trying my best to apply everything that this person is teaching me, and still, like, it's just not getting me nowhere. And, they taught me all these things about, like, the email funnel, and they gave me, what's it called, like, swipe files, which is basically when people kind of give you, like, an example of what the email funnel is supposed to look like the chain of emails people are supposed to receive from you. And, you just got to tweak it and make it your own stuff. And I don't know, it's just like all this stuff, like a kind of like ready-made business in a sense. And you just had to, like, tweak it and modify it to your business a bit. And I did that to the best of my ability, but it just really didn't get me anywhere. And I was awestruck because I couldn't believe it, because this was a four-figure program, a multiple four-figure program. It was over $3,000. And I had committed to making payments for the next few months. And, a few months in, I just wasn't seeing any results. And, the program was only 6 weeks long. 6 weeks long. And, it didn't get any results for me and for a number of the people in the program. And, as I went along my journey, I was then led more into, like, spiritual stuff again. I had started my spiritual journey back in, like, 2012, I think. started getting into some spiritual concepts. I started meditating a little bit, but I had drifted away. And then all of a sudden, spirituality came back on my radar, and I decided to join these Facebook groups on that and connected with people. And that eventually led me to a mentor who taught me, stuff on healing, and I really realized like what the reason why I hadn't succeeded in that first business program was because that first business program just addressed a lot of the external stuff, a lot of the planning and strategizing and looking good on the outside for people to take you seriously and all this other stuff, but it never addressed a whole lot, like the internal stuff. It didn't really go in depth with that. It just did it on a superficial level. And I'm sure maybe superficial stuff was good for certain people who only needed that. But it wasn't enough for me, because I had some deep-rooted issues, which I came to understand through working through this other person. And, that's when I really started unpacking a lot of my internal things. And I realized that a lot of the stuff that I thought I had left behind in my past, in my childhood, that I thought, I'm over that, I'm not going to hold on to that and, just keep dragging that along. Like, even though I wasn't consciously dragging it along, I was subconsciously, internally, energetically dragging it along. And then I started unpacking all of that and healing through all of that and just releasing such deep emotions and beliefs connected to that. And I started feeling better, and things in my business finally started moving forward. I started finally making money. And I finally started making money without doing all of the stuff that the previous person had told me. Like, I was just keeping it simple, doing the most basic things, like, of course, still trying to keep a good image, I guess, have my materials that I was delivering to people or promoting, whatever, look nice. But I wasn't going through all that hassle like that first person had taught me, and I was making money. And then that's when it really hit me that success in business is not so much about the strategies and the planning and looking good and all this other stuff. It's an internal thing. And how far you go in life is based on how much you're willing to work on yourself. And I really started understanding that and seeing that and living that for myself. And that sparked a deep passion to want to help women heal at the time. And I wanted to help women heal from their past traumas, because I have had a very challenging childhood. I dealt with physical abuse, from one of my parents, and emotional abuse and psychological abuse, and then some levels of sexual trauma and just other things, living from a single parent income household and the struggles that brought, and just generational traumas and all that kind of stuff. And so I decided I want to help women heal from this stuff, and I dedicated myself to that for about 1.5 years or something. And I started helping people as I went on my own journey. Why is that car so loud? Anyway, and then there's it's Lima, Peru, and it's really hard to find a place that has peace and quiet here. So the noises or the music of Lima is just what it is. But anyway, so then I did that, and I started, finally moving forward with my business. I finally started making money, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then gradually that shifted into me doing more business coaching and stepping more into my psychic abilities and combining all of that to help people, because, that's what I have been developing and putting into practice as I was helping these women heal. And so it came time to step into that, and I started doing that, and I was just blowing up amazingly, and doing so well. I couldn't even believe the things that I was achieving, the amount of money and the lifestyle that I was able to have in that moment compared to previous years, and compared to anything I thought I was ever going to be able to achieve, as a, brown skin Latin American woman who was living in Peru at the time and still currently is. But I've gone and come back a lot. But anyway, you know, like I blew my mind, you know, to be like, wow, like I can't believe I've been able to do this, you know, after struggling for so long and, you know, having a lot of things not work out. Like I'm finally here, you know, living in an amazing place and making generous amounts of money every month and working with amazing clients and doing what I love. And like, this is amazing. And then as I went along my journey, you know, I had to keep doing things to greater and greater degrees, you know, to develop myself as a business owner, as a coach, as a spiritual guide. And man, those spiritual lessons, they were not easy and started sending me down. And, you know, I would kind of like fight my way back up, but then like be knocked back down again. Like it was intense. It was just a crazy kind of uphill battle. And so anyway, it's just been amazing because, you know, since I started my online business, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've had to learn a lot of lessons, and I've had to, you know, try different things out to see what works and what doesn't, and what's truly going to help me to do things in a way that's sustainable and consistent and effortless for me, and which things are a lot of work and are hard and taxing on me and all that stuff. And so anyway, it's just been a crazy, crazy time because, you know, every year I learn more and more about, you know, spirituality and business and life in general, a lot of different things, who I am. And it's blown my mind how this year in 2021, right now it's June 23rd, 2021. And if you didn't know, back in November 2020, you know, I hit a bit of a wall, and I just wanted to like quit everything because my spiritual lessons at the time just felt too intense. And I was just so mad and frustrated and all this jazz. Anyway, the point is that, you know, I spent a lot of this time since then just focusing on me and working on myself and deepening my connection to spirit and aligning with more of who I truly am. Because if I'm here to help people align with who they really are, I need to lead by example. And I've been putting that into practice all this time, like just consistently aligning with more of who I truly am. And it's just really blown my mind how, as I've aligned with more of who I really am, and I do things in a way that's so deeply aligned with my soul, that my business becomes so much more effortless, and that I don't have to like work as much. I don't have to do nearly as much because I'm connected to who I really am, to my truth. And I do things in a way that really just is aligned with the real me, and things just work out effortlessly without me necessarily having to like have my hands all up in it like I used to. It's just been an amazing, amazing time, you know, like this year at the start of the year, my guides told me that my word of the year, because I like to set intentions for the year and stuff, and I always like tuning into them to see like, oh, what is my word of the year or my phrase of the year? And this year for me, it's all around surrendering to God. You know, God, divine, source, universe, whatever you want to call this greater power. To me, it's all the same. You know, use what word resonates. But that's been what I've been really integrating this year. And I've been learning to surrender to greater and greater levels, and just letting go. And letting go of who I thought I was and how I thought I needed to do things to truly become who I really am, and to show up in the way in which I'm truly meant to in the world. And as I've done that, I've just leaned into that more and more and more. Business becomes so much easier. And it's blown my mind because it's just made me reflect a lot on my spiritual journey, my entrepreneurial journey, you know? Like for the longest time, I think it was since 2018, maybe especially, I became very fascinated with the idea, the concept of business can be easy. You know, I saw other people making business easy and I wanted to do that and I couldn't figure out how. Like I kept doing my best to lean into it as much as I could at that time, because that just spoke so strongly to me. You know, the things that really speak so strongly to you are because there are truth inside of your soul, inside of your unique truth. Because something that I like to teach the people that I work with and the people that follow me is that ultimately you're here to figure out what your truth is. And yes, you can take, you know, what resonates from other people, but you don't necessarily have to follow anyone else's individual truth to the T and try to make that like yours, you know? Like, I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself right, but like, just because of the things I share doesn't mean you have to accept it all as truth for you. Take the bits that resonate with you and leave the parts that don't. You know, you're on your own journey and you're figuring out what really aligns with you uniquely and individually, you know, and that's the journey that you're on. So that's what I encourage everyone to apply to everyone else, because a lot of times we have a tendency to put people on pedestals and make them like these all-knowing gurus who know the truth and they know more than us and all this other jazz. I have a whole video that I did too on like choosing the right spiritual teacher for you. I'll put it here in the cards so that you can check that out if that speaks to you. But yeah, you know, like that was a truth for me that really just spoke so deeply to me. It's like business can truly be simple and easy. And I've been on that search because that was such a strong desire for me. I've been on that search of figuring out, like, what does that really look like? How do you make that happen? You know? And by wanting so deeply to figure that out, you know, my soul called me forward on this journey, which then, you know, created all these crazy lessons and experiences and experiments for me, which is why the road was really bumpy along the way. And it was about really just, you know, learning, like, how do you really make it simple? How do you really make it easy? Because I've been in the game for years now. What is this, like year number 5 now? 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's been a minute, you know? And yeah, I've been able to witness from my own journey, from working with other people, from, you know, learning from other people as well, working with other people, like having them my mentors and guides, or observing other people. You know, I've been really able to like see, okay, what does it really take, you know, to be able to achieve this in a way that feels aligned with me and with what I stand for. And it's just been really awesome to go on that journey. Now I say that because at the time when I was going through all of this, trying to figure this out, it did not feel awesome. It did not feel amazing. But in hindsight now, you know, thinking back to it, I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense now, you know? And so anyway, I really noticed, like, yes, there are certain things that you need to have knowledge about when it comes to business. You know, you need to know certain things around marketing and selling and, you know, creating something like a program that you're going to offer people, and, you know, certain components of business, like you do need to have awareness of these things. But you don't necessarily need to follow any specific strategy. You know, you don't need to necessarily be like, okay, step 1 this, and step 2 that, and step 3 this, and da 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 da. You know, I have really understood, and like through, you know, these last couple of years, especially as the energy here, the consciousness has like super heightened on the planet. And just like things I've channeled, my own journey, just so many different things, I've really realized like we're switching away from this old way of doing business. You know, if you got to catch my episodes that I did recently, I started this new thing called Conscious Roundtable Conversations, and I wanted to really speak on, you know, how conducting business in the age of Aquarius is shifting. And so if you haven't checked those out yet, I'll put them up here in the cards for you to go and watch that after this video. But yeah, you know, I really have seen that we are powerfully shifting away from these old ways of doing things. And the old ways of doing things, it's not necessarily that there's anything like inherently wrong with them, you know? They served us for where we were at the time. And I have loads more that I want to say to that in an upcoming video called Levels of Consciousness in Business. You know, I spoke to that a little bit in my first Conscious Roundtable Conversations video. I even, you know, did a little clip of that little portion that I did and posted it to Instagram because I loved it so much. But I'm actually going to do like a more in-depth video or class, whatever you want to call it, speaking more to that. And I'm inviting people who are interested in that topic and who have questions around that to join me so that we can, yeah, have this conversation, you know, talk about this. You know, I can speak to it and they can have their answers to their questions. And so I've asked people in my group, like, hey, is anyone interested in this? So some people have responded there. I sent out an email. So this is why, you know, if you follow me and you want to kind of join me for these kinds of things whenever I feel called to do them like this, then definitely, you know, subscribe to my email, YouTube, be in my Facebook group, whatever, you know, because I don't have any particular place to post these things. I'm just like, oh, and I just do it here. And then it just happens. So going back to, you know, what I was just saying is that, like, yeah, the old way of doing business was like, yeah, follow this 5-step formula or follow like this thing of doing business. Like first you need to do this and then the funnel and then this and this and this and then, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, that's the old way of doing things, but we're shifting into, you know, a new space where conducting business is different. And, you know, there's a new kind of entrepreneurship rising, a new kind of entrepreneur that isn't led by, you know, the step-by-step guaranteed proven strategy to success. It's more of an intuitively led entrepreneur and one that flows more, one that's guided, you know, like this is what we're shifting into. And among other things, obviously, that are going to come into play with that. But yeah, and so I've noticed for myself as I've reflected, like, man, for so long, like, unconsciously, I was trying to adhere to the old, you know? I was still trying to do strategies. Even though it wasn't, like, how to explain it? It wasn't, like, what I was taught before with that first coach, for example. You know, I was still sticking to like a certain way of doing things, like, okay, then this and this and then this and then, you know, I was operating off of that for so long. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, I have no strategy. I'm just me. I just do my thing and life gets to be easy. And now I finally understand, like I've reached what I've been searching for so long, which is like my question was, you know, for years was like, how do I make this easy? How do I make this effortless? Like for me, right? And I realized for me, it's like not having a damn strategy is what it is. And just doing whatever I want, whenever I want, in the places I want is where it's at, you know? And of course, like, you know, that's the simple explanation to it. Is it's taken a minute to really align with that and really have the energy behind that, you know, and the consciousness and all that jazz. But like, this is what it is, you know, is I have no particular strategy, and it's been so freeing, you know, like even just yesterday, ambulance, it's an important message. You know, I was doing something, oh shit, you guys, the fountain scared me. Who did this? All right, look, let me show you, hold on. I have a fountain behind me. And the fountain, let me tell you, this fountain has been dried. It's been barren for a long time, for months. And then all of a sudden I come to the park today and it's filled with water, and now the fountain just magically turned on. Who dared turn this fountain on while I'm recording? I have no idea, but these are the crazy things that happen in my videos. But anyway, yeah, I finally understood, like, I finally got what I've been asking for all this time. You know, my soul had a deep desire to make this easy, to make this effortless, to make this fun. How in the world do I do that? And then the universe obviously delivered the answer, not in the way that I wanted or expected, but in the way that I needed, because that's the universe. And took me on this crazy journey of learning how to really be able to do that for myself. And so just yesterday, you know, I was doing this thing connected to the announcement that I'm about to share with you. And I was working on it, you know, for like a couple of hours, and then I was like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to force it, I'm going to step away, I'll finish it when I come back. I went away, came back later, and then when I came back later, like, I started redoing the whole thing, and then I was working on that for a couple of hours, and then it was really late, and I was like, what? And then I was like, man, why am I even doing this? Like, this doesn't feel good anymore, and I'm not going to force myself to do this anymore, because it doesn't feel good anymore. I'm going to do something else. Screw it. And I just went and I decided to move on to something else. And in the past, I wouldn't have handled things that way. In the past, I would have sat there and tried to force what I was doing to move forward. And I would have been like, no, I have to get this done before I do anything else. And this is the way it is, and that's it. And that was the old me, right? So it's just been a really interesting journey of learning how to make things easy, how to make things fun, how to make things effortless, you know? So anyway, all of that leads me to, and I hope you can hear me because this fountain is loud. Hopefully this mic is doing its job. And I'm speaking very loud too, so I'm like, hello? Can you hear me? Hopefully I didn't hurt your ears. But anyway, this is why I'm here today, because today I want to announce my new program, and that is Soul Aligned Business. So Soul Aligned Business is very similar to my previous program, Soul Aligned Impact. Okay, I have testimonials up here if you want to check them out on Soul Aligned Impact. But Soul Aligned Business is for entrepreneurs who are, you know, just starting out, or they've been in the game for a while, and, you know, they're trying all the strategies and the strategies don't work for them, and they don't know what is up. They don't know how to make it work, you know? Nothing is wrong with you, by the way. Nothing is wrong with you. It's just that chances are the strategies that you're implementing are just not in alignment with who you are on a unique soul level. And so in Soul Aligned Business, okay, this is also for you if you are wanting to start a business but you don't know where to begin. You see all this stuff online about different people preaching like their strategies and their proven methods and stuff like that, and you're just like, where do I even begin? So this is for you as well. But anyway, the point is that in Soul Aligned Business, basically I'm gonna take you through like what you actually really need to know in regards to business. Okay, like I said earlier, there are certain fundamentals that you do need to have awareness around. You do need to have, you know, that knowledge. But as far as like how you conduct your business, Soul Aligned Business is there to help you to do things in your business, to be able to build it and grow it in a way that's unique to you and works for you and feels really good to you. and that you can really stand strong behind. And because it's so aligned with who you really are, things are going to flow so much more effortlessly for you moving forward. And you won't even have to show up as much as you think you need to, or other people say you need to, and do as much as you might think you need to, or other people say you need to. Like, it's all about like making your business personalized to you. Because what happens is a lot of times when we go into this entrepreneurial space or the online space, we just get bombarded with everyone teaching specific ways and methods, and then we go on this wild goose chase of trying to apply what they're teaching to our businesses. But if it's not in alignment with who we are truly, then that's why it doesn't work. You know, that's definitely been my case, and what I've seen in a lot of people that I've worked with as well, is it just doesn't work because it's not really in alignment. And so I'm going to teach you what you actually really need to know in regards to certain things in business, like pricing or marketing, or putting together a offer, a program, a service, or selling, and branding, and whatever, like these things. Like, you'll get what you really need from that, but then you'll start doing it in a way that feels right for you and aligned for you. And I'm definitely going to have to teach you how to do the inner work that you need to get out of your own way, and really help you to build yourself up from the inside out. Because as I shared at the very beginning of this video, what I really noticed in that first coaching program that I took for business was that my mentor didn't focus enough on the inner work aspect of it. And as I've gone on this journey for myself for a number of years now, I've really come to understand to greater and greater degrees just how important that inner work is. It's so important for you to have such a deep level of confidence, of self-worth, of self-esteem, of self-trust inside of yourself and all the other selves. It's so important for you to be so strong in who you are, because that is what's going to make the difference in your results. So let me tell you from my own experience, even though for a really, really long time, I felt so strongly to, believe certain things, in regards to business. Like, I wanted business to be easy and effortless and all this stuff, and I believed in it. Like, I knew it was possible, and it really resonated with me on a soul level. But integrating that really, and embodying that, learning how to embody that, took a while. It took a lot of struggles and challenges and lessons. And it, as I did that, as I integrated this and embodied it more, it became effortless to really, truly hold the energy of what I wanted to believe for so long. And that's just like me personally. So now it is easy for me to show up and do things in my business, because I've gone through this journey of really building myself up from the inside out to stand strong behind what it is I'm doing, and to really believe in the success of it. And that is a huge component of Soul Aligned Business, is helping to build you up from the inside out, so you can really feel sure of yourself and sure that you're being supported by the divine. And as a result, you can confidently go out there into the world, do business your way, and create success, because you're so solid in who you are and your vibration. So that's the purpose of Soul Aligned Business. I'm really, really excited for it. And I feel really good about it because, like I said, I've been on such a wild journey, and it's really made me understand, like, what is really necessary here, Like, I've made so many mistakes along the way to really understand, like, what do we truly need? It's kind of like, and I know a lot of women are guilty of this. You know how, like, when you want to go traveling somewhere and you're only going for a couple of days, but you take like a whole suitcase of things, and you take like a bunch of bags for like your makeup and your beauty products, like your self-hygiene products and all, and then all of a sudden you're like carrying these two big of like this luggage, this suitcase, and then like a big old bag of stuff and your purse. all for like a weekend. And it's like, hold up, what do you really need for this weekend? And just take the essentials and make your life simpler and fun, so you can actually focus your time, your energy, your attention on other stuff if you want, and you're not doing all this excess stuff. Like, why do you need this excess stuff, you know? And so I'm gonna take these fountains that have decided to magically turn on today as a sign from the universe, like applauding me and telling me like, yes, the drought is over. No, but seriously, you know, I'm really excited about this program because, man, I have just so much stuff to share from everything that I've learned, everything that I've lived through and experienced. And I'm really excited to impart that wisdom to people who feel called to be in this program and who want to save themselves a lot of time, energy, effort, stress, money, struggle, especially like, because, man, it's not easy, you know, when you're starting out. For most people, you know, we go through a lot of stuff, and for spiritual entrepreneurs especially, it's so important to do things in a way that's really aligned with who you are uniquely, you know, if you as a soul, rather than possibly like follow in someone else's like footsteps and do their exact strategy. You know, for most spiritual entrepreneurs, that's not going to work. Maybe you're the exception, but for most of us, it's like, no, you have to embrace who you are. You have to trust in yourself and in your way of doing things. You have to trust that everything's going to work out. You know, source is supporting you, is making it happen. And you got to just take those actions confidently and do that. And if you really do achieve a level of certainty and confidence inside of yourself, like, you will be able to do that. But most people have trouble with that, like yours truly, because you got to do all this internal work. You got to really build yourself up and believe in yourself and feel good about yourself and all this stuff to move forward in the world in this way. And so that's especially one of the biggest focuses of Soul Line Business, is helping people to really feel confident and strong as they do things. And like I was sharing earlier about how, you know, I've been able to make business so much easier this year. I've really noticed, like, just from doing things more simply, you know, doing things in my way. Like, I have no idea why. I swear it's this. It has to be this, because there's no other explanation. My Facebook community is growing, and like almost every single day now, I receive a new request from someone wanting to join my group. And let me tell you, that group was dead for a minute because, you know, I was going through my stuff and just a bunch of other things. Like, I realized now, looking back on it, like, I was so out of alignment, but I didn't really realize it. And it was like a bit of a struggle, if you want to call it that, to like deliberately grow my Facebook community. Like, it just wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. And as I've really embodied more of who I really am and my unique self and my unique way of doing things, like, it just grows by itself without me doing anything. And that's especially true for Instagram. Like, I don't know why, but my Instagram is also growing too. I'm telling you, this is what it is. It's just like this greater alignment with myself. And maybe I should have moved away from the fountain a long time ago. Hopefully you caught everything else I said before this. But yeah, you know, like, my Instagram is just growing all the time, and I'm like, why? I don't post every day. I post and I show up on Instagram whenever I feel like it. You know, I don't show up in my Facebook group all the time either. I'm not on Facebook much at all. Like, this year has been the year of Stef really not being on social media unless necessary. And even though, like, I've stepped back significantly, things are still moving forward. I'm getting people messaging me, you know, a lot of times on Instagram, asking to work with me, have a private session or whatever. And just like all these opportunities and things are coming out of nowhere. I'm not even promoting things. Really, I haven't really promoted a lot of things this year so far and stuff. And people are just finding me. Why? Because I'm just aligned with who I really am. And life gets to be easy. At last. But it really took me really embracing me, really knowing on a much deeper level, like, I am enough, really surrendering to a far greater degree to the universe, and so many other things. And that's what I really want to take people through in Soul Aligned Business. Take them through that process of, you know, really understanding, what do you really actually need to know and do and implement in your business, and how does that look like for you as a unique individual soul? Because we're all different, you know, and different things work for different people. And I really feel like we are starting to really understand that on a much greater level now, that we can't have this cookie cutter, you know, way of doing things anymore. We have to really understand, like, each person is unique, and they're going to have their unique, you know, personality or challenges or things that work for them. And so, you know, that's the way to really help people move forward. So my intention for those of you joining me in Soul Aligned Business is that you really feel trust in yourself and in your way of doing things, and so that you don't question yourself anymore, and you feel really confident about how you feel guided to move forward with your business and reach people with your work. No? And you can do that confidently, and you can trust, and it just works out for you in magical ways. And so these days, I hardly work, if you want to call it that. I just show up whenever I feel like it. I disappear, I appear, I just do my thing, and it's enough. It's enough to attract my Soul Aligned community, Soul Aligned clients, for opportunities, all kinds of stuff. And so that's what I want to teach people in Soul Aligned Business, that I'm really, really excited about. So if this is something that speaks to you, if you want more information, because I don't currently have a sales page, that's the thing that I was working on yesterday. I was like, oh, I want to do a sales page. And then I started writing it, and then it wasn't flowing, but I was sitting there for a couple hours writing it, and then went away, came back, and then I rewrote it. And then it was just like, what am I doing? So I just got rid of it, because I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that, anymore. Like, it's just too much work. I don't know how this turned into work, but I don't do work. I do fun. I do ease. So I just trash that. So I don't have a sales page right now. I'm just doing this video, and this video is enough. It will be enough. And that's what I feel aligned with right now. Maybe I'll do the sales page a day or two, who knows? But as of right now, no sales page. But if you feel aligned to be a part of Soul Aligned Business, reach out to me. My social media links will be in the description of this video. Wait, not description. The comments. In the comment section of this video, pinned to the very top, you will have my social media links. You click on them, you reach out to me, and then, yeah, I'll give you more info. There is a limited time offer. So for those of you that sign up within the next week, okay, you will be able to receive an additional private session for me, okay? So what this is, let me give you more info on the program. There's a really cute golden retriever. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. Oh, so cute. All right. So yes, it's Soul Aligned Business is an 8-week program, okay? And its focus is a lot of mindset. There will be some healing. It will give you information on business that you need to know, to be aware of, and it's there to help you really do things in a way that's personalized to you, okay? So I'm going to give you a framework, and then you really make that your own. And I'm going to help you to make that your own, and really trust in that and lean into that, and make sure that's really, really aligned with your soul, because that's the thing, is that a lot of times people are led by their egos, and they go in directions that don't really move them in, they take them on a detour. They go on a detour, and they finally eventually make their way to where they're really meant to go. So we're going to make sure that the stuff that you're doing is actually really soul aligned, and understanding what that means and looks like in the program as well. But yeah, 8-week program, and when you sign up for this program, you are going to get 2 free private sessions with me. You can do them during the program or after. It's up to you. Even if you want them during the program, like, it just depends. Like, if it's really for your highest good to do it during the program, we'll do it during the program, or after. We'll just see what works. But anyway, so you get 2 private sessions as well. Each private session with me is valued at $400 each, so that's $800. And if you sign up within the next week, so by the end of this month, this is June 23rd, by the end of this month, so by June 30th at 11:59 p.m., if you sign up, then you get an additional private session with me, okay? And then, what else? Yeah, there is some monthly payment options there available for you, and I think that's basically it. Okay, the price that it's currently being held at, I think it's a huge deal to me. That's the price that I was told to place it at for people's highest good at this time. So I'm just trusting in that. So right now it's $1,800. In the future, it'll probably go up. I'm not sure. I just do what I am instructed to do as per the guides for everyone's highest good. So if that is something that speaks to you, reach out to me, and yeah, let's just get you set up. We will start this program, can't remember the date right now, but like in a couple of weeks, whenever that is, July something. I'll figure it out later. I'll put it in the comments of this video. See, I'm just doing things my way. So that's how it is. There's this little boy like looking around like, why is this girl speaking in English? Like, because I do. But anyway, so if that's something that speaks to you, let me know. Reach out to me in all the social medias or comment below. Let me know how to reach you. And that's it. I'm basically, super excited to be doing this soon. I just can't wait. I think it's going to be absolutely life-changing and transformational, as all my programs. But this one, I just feel super, super happy and excited about. Like, you have no idea, because these months have been just like a powerful time for me spiritually. And this is just like, it just feels amazing. It feels amazing to be at this place, to know like, yes, finally, like, it feels time to share everything that I've learned and I've gone through and I've experienced and all this stuff to the people, to help them not struggle like I did and not go through all of these difficult things like I did, like, to save them a little bit of, strife. So anyway, I'm just really excited about this program, as you can tell. I can't wait to, work with those of you who feel called to be in it. I'm super, super excited. And any other information you might need, comment below or reach out to me and ask me. I'm happy to answer questions. And if I get a lot of questions, I'll probably do a separate video just to answer everyone all at once. But yeah, basically when you sign up for Soul Aligned Business, you're going to get access to a free private Facebook group. So that's where we're going to drop the links for our meetings, our calls, and relevant course info. How my programs usually work is we meet twice a week. Once is for the module lesson for that week, and then the other time is for Q&A. So we get on a call to answer your questions based on the module, or like what you're going through in that time, or relevant to like the program, or what's coming up, And so we usually meet twice a week. The classes or the calls are usually anywhere from an hour long to maybe an hour and a half long, sometimes 2 hours. It just depends on like what we need to talk about. We need to cover what's going on. And what else? And then usually after a module lesson, you'll usually have a PDF to go through and take yourself through the process of implementing whatever was taught that week. That's the usual structure of it. Like I said, I'm just learning how to flow with things more now and making things easier for me. So, we're just going to see how this flows as well. But nevertheless, like, I know that it's going to absolutely change your life to be in this program and to just simplify. That's what I'm about. Simplify, not do all this extra work. Like, that's just, I'm not available for that anymore. I'm not available to like do more than I have to, you know, because I'm worthy enough to receive as is anyway. And I just got to do the bare minimum. And I've really learned to integrate that. And so that's what I want for other people too, because we got lives, we got other interests, we got families, we got all these things, you know. And so I've really just been able to see these last few months, especially as I've gone through this process of deep surrendering, that it's like, it's an illusion. It's an illusion to think that you have to do all this stuff to attract the success that you want or the clients that you know, desire. Like, it's an illusion to think that you have to work so hard. You gotta, you know, be so prepared and do all these things. Like, that's the illusion. It can be so much simpler than that. Yeah, you do have to have basic awareness of business, but it doesn't have to be so complicated. It doesn't have to be so complex and whatever. At least that's what's really in alignment with me. And if this is in alignment with you, this speaks to you on such a deep level, reach out to me, because this is probably the program for you. But, you know, everyone is different. Different things work for different people, depending on where they're at in their journey, what speaks to their soul, just so many factors. And for me, at this stage of my life, my journey, I'm just like, yo, like, let's just do bare minimum amount of work and let's just change lives. And I don't have to be doing all these extra things. Like, why am I doing this? You know, it's kind of like the equivalent to, you know, you don't have to put on makeup as a woman. Okay, you don't have to. You're pretty without your makeup. But some people want to do a little bit more, you know? And for me, like, the bare minimum for me is I put on lipstick, all right? If I'm feeling extra fly, I would do some mascara, maybe some eyeliner. But this is the bare minimum. That's all I need. If you want to go all out with the face, you know, makeup, go all out if that works for you. You know, we're all unique individuals. And from time to time, I feel myself and I want to do the full-blown makeup, and that's good. You know, that works for me that day. I want to look extra cute. You know, I will make that effort. But you don't have to, you know? And so the program is really to help you, like, discern for you, like, what do you actually really need to do? You know? And what are you trying to force yourself to do, or whatever, that you don't need to, but you're doing it because of all this unconscious stuff that's driving you to do it. And how do you get rid of all this unconscious stuff driving you to do things that are unnecessary? You know, what's like the fastest way forward? So anyway, that's it. I'm done rambling. I'm super excited about this. I have not been excited about something, I feel, in a long time. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you got something out of it, even if you choose not to join me in this program. It's okay. Like, I just hope that something here resonated with you, inspired you in some way, gave you validation in some way, and I wish you all the best with your journey. And yeah, you know, that's basically it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.